abusiafo yemo bibi akwa ba na yemfa mbra mega TV and platform eso na dwantoa eye journalist, broadcast journalist esan eye Nshira morning show host na wuti nsem owurawe. In fact kokobo a odiama UK Prime Minister Owura Starmer nsem a waka akire no. In fact nsem no me bompa yesenka eberechi owura no na watu ho anamon because ensene modu ni na ne se Owura Starmer enna kakradie ena obeka nsem bi se bedin se African uko omukrum a obenya papers atena honom. It will take you like more than 10 years or 10 years to be a citizen. Abusia ye na ni se UK nso nkofuku a omo ye ka Ghana ye gold ye ka Ghana ye njapade a nkofo we omo na omoji. Not even ya him for no to talk about. And it is nkofo we as to say African countries to stay in their country a privilege. No more, it is not the right. No. Na dwanto ase mu awrem. Na dwanto a watimi asinkete apotoka san kama ade asande UK Prime Minister Owura Starmer. So ntie bi na nsem am kan no. Africans, we are not coward. We are ready to build our country and our continent. Yenti nsem na dwanto a ede to dwa. Mesro so be subscribe. Or like it madino. Amini kan emfa mesra fa comment to me bebo ho papa yenti nsema na dwanto a ede to edwa bra na odi sa akoko boy ema Owura Starmer yakoba yebeto aso hanam number one authentic platform
na hyase ne se UK Prime Minister your friend Starmer waka bibi na say UK muntie because it affected Ghana ntia London asem na making. Se say omo yan hyehyeye said de beya ebeye den amawo bibini se wo koni krom na obenya papers mpo bibini eye Ghana ni a wo se me pese me ko UK me pese me ko UK me pese me ko UK no Owura Starmer onim Starmer ye de ne beto page no so se sia no ahu no on a UK Prime Minister Penya ohwe UK so o say they said they do not Trump say ya or pamo before immigrants who nin krata near pamo no they say UK for no so asha sebi. In fact omu kire say answer na yebema o krata no not just the ebia what na hwa infie edu Infie do 10 years. Afe kra no so no brofo ntimi nka brofo pa ebe din. Tese ni nyina person o kire se in fact o can be what say living in UK is not a right but a privilege. But your papa ne da so no bra Facebook. Me kire onioma e koso na yesua bibia afrim. And I'm so glad that you never can't go to Huasem. UK Prime Minister Owura Starmer and Odasuno. Omo ye labor for omo adwuma for na ekekambo mu and na omo tesa ku no. First na conservative for na transwacha ansa na labor for yi omo so eba. Ne tofani nyina ne se Africa for so ye wa adwen say oba abrochira they say US a buey UK nso a o maka omo ho first no mu na yes sa they so masa ka omo ho kire say UK no say wote wa enye te say chenchena atwan na mom e ya dum bi sa no pese omo ka wote na UK ya dum enye wo na be decide nti mo a mo bompa say rade boam na me nko UK no nhihye ne say answer na benya krata no just 10 years na oka we na me poto kakra because asem na me pese meka no me pese otibi na ye ka bibi kire no Now, first of all, bebe say ohwe nneoma bi kakra wa ha. Papa bi a ochro book bi anankrata article. Your friend Nick Diaden. Oma mo share issues of justice. Se pepepe ye bibe koso ewo oman bi mu. Nick. Na ochro sankrata no. Ne title ni nie. Pacho bra Facebook ye kire wa de e ka no. De beka bia no ne ye pese wo hwe bi na wo te de ye ka na se yi. Ochro article bi I think around 2017 ho. Title no ye de beto so se na ono ochro sa de no maka no hape ba me kai wo. Fa show trim say UK Prime Minister say uye bibinia uye bibinia oba hwa enya adom bi ne de boa wo ye be pamo obenya yi ate se 10 years enyo ma be ma wo bibini ho a kire wo obeso o kire se obi anka se brani krum enka bone USA for ka me enya ba UK for de wo mu ka me ne o mu wasem UK for Kier Starmer. Now at the end of the day, no bra Facebook never check it. A friend Nick Diaden, or a director of UK campaigning organization Global Justice Now. Onona or ye broniu, but what's not here who say abrofune SCC or musisi a bibi mai over the period no. And what's a bibi before na abrofusi umuno. And what's so munyo muchefa. Because abrofune be jia yen, ebe jia yen, ebe jia Africa for abrofune be sisi yen. Abrofun de to trust them ebo yen crofo transatlantic slave trade you know so okay kind transatlantic slave trade na time mo be chichi ye koye nkwasom e de koye ye cotton wadwuma ne plantation ne hwede e wo West Indies ene USA ne nasefo a ye nananom e ka ho no e ye nananom ene ma UK ene USA e ye dom but ene UK for Starmer say Uti UK uye bibinia uni se enye bibia eya adom omu ye bold UK for and that is why I want to address the UK Prime Minister very soon. Me kan brofo say the be kwa ma wate nyansa 7% me ka kire no article ni or say Africa is not poor, we are stealing its wealth. So bra Facebook na be ha de onu na tro you because they bia no mu to ho abrofo ne to a no matwa mfoni say yen bi before there ehia yen bi before there omu ye nkrasefo e bi before omu nya serious e bi before omu ye corrupt e bi before omu ye say they bia sa ne aka che omu nti as of now ye won mfoni bi omu gidi say yen e bi before ye da so tinua so Oma ka che say yen e bi before no ye da so ti enua so ya hwini panam sa na ya ka kire obi o ya ka kire say ya tete ball aso sa narrative no ma ka kire ye enti omu movies o de ya hwe omu movies nyina no obon say bibini na ewu ntem ya hwe omu movies UK ni USA for omu movies cha wo hwe American movie na UK movie a bibini wan soma na bibini se okọ oye soja bibini ne ebeku ne ntem sa nyoma we nyina omu de aya me age atum eno ti no mutimi acting movie Yesu movie nyina na de abra be kire say Yesu ye broni nti mo nsom no na ye ni abre na ye tone calendar broni sesa ya adwen ache but baby ye dru eye emancipating ourselves from mental slavery ye yankasa and ye dru level la ye te se broni kasa na ye mo hyehye ye aba who born dog UK is warning Africans that staying in UK is a privilege. UK Prime Minister. Oh yeah, okay. Are you okay? BBI are fine. Bra Facebook now for yanking kanko. Jeff, you free so. Ono tro bro ni tro ka kire ni say. Muma moteti hey. Africa. Ye mom ni ehia Africa for. Enti wo po mo ma ehia o ma enya Africa yen ene ahia wo mo ama Africa. O si ewom, let me read that article. Let me read that article for sure. Or see a woman say, ye was sika, ye dima omo. A woman say, ye bomu bosia. A woman say, a told be a choma dear, ebia it's a UK Prime Minister, Yama Africa for ebia $50 million, £50 million. Monfanya way, UK say, ya chill way, or say a woman sad dear. Nanso so, ye she sikankwa. Ye mujia eya mu abrofo ye me bronini bi mujia fi African kwana eye over 200 plus billion inti ma men kan to fanchero. Imagine say obi ma 1,000 cedis nanso bewie no anya so mfaso be 2,000 o se sana ye Africa fo ye chi o ma de no mu ye wia wo mu de ye wia ene de di cho mu no de ye wia no doso mo echen de ye de ma omo enti se opa de asem na wo kan in fact do kan article no be kire wo say illegal sa hwa timbe ya wo mo fai ekọ UK ebi ko UK timbe ya de bia hu se wo ne nam ho ne nasefo nyina no ebi ko UK gold akese ye ne to bia ye hu ba bia efa no ebi ko UK for omunye mining. And so pe meba be kyerɛw Jeff Fato so mami hwɛ me de ko UK for omu votes make a vote god vote be bia wo hu sa gold ni bi da Bank of Ghana kra wo sa gold ni bi but me de wo ko me be hwɛ pictures no of gold nko a wo mu wo krom ho wo mu ye galamsey wo mu ye illegal mining wo mu ye mining bay aheya hwɛ Queen Elizabeth ene ne nkrofo na nam checki gold nko a ewo masase nase be hwe gold nko ma paki omunya gold ni wo he yen abibifo ena UK Prime Minister ene Queen Elizabeth wonya ne ba bi ko nkofo we awia ye close over 500 years time ye konko asomu o mehwia ye gold o mu da so wia ene o mu ye bold to tell us say uti UK ye pri wa wia ye awie na ye ba kakra manjia ye gold UK you have been stealing since 500 years ago, and today you are telling us that living in UK is a privilege. I don't blame you, I blame our leaders. I don't. Bra Facebook na be he what be wia ye wie gold in the ni age no we ye King Charles, they say that the King Charles nye hwe the way ne esi age a okuta gold anentina sa gold we anka enya bia John Dramani Mahama anase ohini ne kuta ye ko Bank of Ghana nke na no pay anka Ghana Bank of Ghana say na wo say ye fa we to so ma me ha we ne ye me fe bra Facebook na be he we ne ye me fe we no hwe the way obane sre gold Anglo Gold Ashanti 2 gold ya pam ni nyina bi ko UK ni amaya kakra bi yes ya ade yes de Newmont no wo mam nyasika na tam na ekọ UK wo mam ye galamsey wo munya gold wo mkeka ebi beko UK hwe oba we nani di agye ekuta gold wo sa gold hu bi da how many of us na hu gold hu ane ring ne asmade kitwa bi ba be hwe UK for now o mawia ye for over 500 years no eno mo ka che ye before say uti ho a e ya adum bi na mo menye force say ye ma wo citizenship nipa na wawia wo ekun ase wo dachi e de ehunahuna ebo ye ekun bi e de ye nananum etu nsuom no ene wo ka che wo say uti UK a menye wo adwen say o answer na be citizenship say 10 years na ye de ne ba ne sa eba ne sa wo bra ye jitu mu ma ye leaders meka leaders apart from Kwame Nkrumah on the no ye pan-African and now oka the new form of colonization, which is neo-colonialism and then imperialism. What you say? The new form of colonizing people. The new form. Afe de ebia o medi so, but the ehunahuna ni esisie. This is what Kwame Nkrumah was talking about. Imperialism. Ono ankasa sorry a no per se obi na ye president. Otini bia na omu tu nipa de so. No mu ku nipa. Hwe de omu ye Gaddafi. Hwɛ de omu ye Gaddafi ene Gaddafi Libya say because of what they do. When the man basa African leaders ne kɔ hɔ a ne enu ma konum tea. African leaders ne kɔ hɔ a ne akɔ akɔsere just because of $50 million de be maye and now pounds. Ya gye nyoma ya refi say o me wie sika ne free ha. Na nka oba we e de nyansa no wo kyɛn yɛn. Ne yɛn gold no kwade bi atwe firebo. We are seeing now gold, no. We are the seas. We are the seas producers of gold in the world. In Ghana, Ghana is now the #1 producer of gold in Africa. Africa na yen Ghana for ya. Oh here aye pesikano. Yen na gold no. Yen you producer #1. Still here yen. Then you wake up in the morning, you have a UK Prime Minister because he's bold, because we are realizing that we are not serious. Now he's telling us that living in UK is a privilege, it's not a right. Mamen kenkan brofo we nkyere Starmer, UK Prime Minister. No ntie ni ye, afimi wi am the statistics ni so e bia ba beka ho. Me poto kakra no wahu UK Prime Minister. I want to address you. I don't blame you. I blame our leaders who sat down for you to steal our resources. I blame the people who allowed you to deceive them to take majority of our resources into your country to rebuild your country. I blame the elders who sat down to be deceived, to be thinking that you were about to help us. And today, after stealing all our resources and making your country better, you have the guts, you have the right to tell Africans that it is a privilege. You are lucky some of us are not the president. I would have told you harsher words this morning. UK Prime Minister, nobody is afraid of you. I love my country, Ghana. And I think that if we have empowered leaders, they'll be able to say no. We still have leaders who would act like Kwame Nkrumah, who would reject those imperialism, who reject new forms of colonization. But telling us that it is a privilege, we will tell you very soon that it is also a privilege to live in Africa. And I think that it is time for African leaders to just sit up and tell every white man here that, hey, it is a privilege to stay in Africa. It is not a right. When would we have African leaders who just get up and say that all you, USA, UK, whoever, it is time for you to realize that living in Africa is a right, it is a privilege and not a right. Gone were the days when you say some of these nonsense, we'll be shaking. But we have a new form of Africa. We have certain leaders who are rising up to the occasion and telling some of you to shut up. USA can say it, I don't care. But for UK, we are aware of how you stole our resources. We are aware. So UK ambassador to Ghana, please, we are not afraid of you. And I know that maybe the president will tell you, but some of us, we are not afraid of you. We don't need your country to survive. I don't need to come to UK to survive. I don't need you to survive. You rather need us. If African leaders are truthful to themselves, there will be a time that you will not be able to have advantage of our resources again. And that is the time you know that you need Africans to survive. So, dear Prime Minister, Starmer, UK Prime Minister, this is my word to you this morning. My name is Nana Jantwa. I'm a multimedia worker. And I know that you get this message. So I am sending this epistle to you. I said I'm writing to express my deep concern about your recent statement that living in the UK is a privilege, not a right. Given the history of exploitation and resource extraction from African countries like Ghana, where I live, your words feel particularly tone deaf and nonsense. For too long, our resources have been taken without fair compensation, enriching others like UK For many years, while other communities like my country struggle, as Africans and as a Ghanaian, we won't be intimidated or diminished by such reckless comments. We are proud of our identities, cultures, and history as Africans. We are not beggars. We are a sovereign nation with immense potential. And it is time for us to stand strong and assert our worth in international conversations. We need to be bold to tell them that enough of this nonsense. We have the capacity as Africans. We are resilient and creative to shape our own future. We have the power, just like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said, that we have the power to identify ourselves and our personalities. So this morning I heard President John Dramani Mahama and other African leaders to join forces in responding to this narrative that undermine our dignity and right to self-determination. We need to redefine the conversations around our place in the world, demanding fairness, respect, and equal partnership that value our contribution. Let us tell them that enough of these threats. If living in UK is a privilege, they should be told that living in Africa is a privilege. Signed by Nana Janswa. So Prime Minister, UK Prime Minister, says Starmer, it's an unfortunate statement. And for me, I urge all African leaders to stand up against UK, to stand up against USA. Fortunately, mideba efie, fortunately, yenya obi a wahye ase, yenko Namibia, bra Facebook ne nkɔ hwɛ ade. Yenko Namibia. Muna ya na musro mo. Ni German ambassador akama ke kama adwante mini bro abrofu hia ye make kama adwintro mu ye call Germany no mo church o me say masa wo country ye de me country ye de mo country sa depression asem na abentia mo ho na efe ha kakra bia because mo enyoma bi na mo keka bom babra mi kro me de papa mo country me de ye de me ni ngia brochire ho me bra ni me mpanyfo be aya abetsra me nya obi a me ni gi abrochire ho me mo abrochire kwa me ho yira me nya obi a me ni gi abrochire ho metimi atena Ghana de Ghana obi a wonim bia nim de me kai enya mpanyfo no na yiye enyoma basa wote Ghana abo se Ghana de I'm telling you Ghana de papa Ghana de ana mo yesa fa Namibia president to so mame hwe oba no de waka Namibia president Obano. Behade. Namibian president. Me chirawo de Obane buy and say why. Or say UK ni US for you madwin say omu okwa kope visa. Na wote wo obekọ ye can say US embassy ko US embassy Ghana for omu twen Ghana for omu D line ade omu pa broche kwan akọ. Na omu sisi awiem. All because they want to go to abroad. Now saying statistics kakrebia minya yes over $10 million visa application kwa a year $10 million. I don't blame them. Because in Kenya leadership papa or Ghana and Kenya then what is so be sorry every kata so kwa bruchi obekwa no kwajinani obi wo Dubai or the abrochi na wo ka US ne yeden and then Donald Trump oko Arab countries wo oko Dubai. Donald Trump is on in Dubai. And yet Dubai because they have packaged themselves well. Kwame Nkrumah talked about our African identity and personality. Ye nim say ye was sikache UK for. Ye who say ye was sikache USA for. Any ajia to mama Africa brofo. Any atata ya. Any atuan ye din simhunu. Enti omo kan ye hopo. I was said do so mo can be a yen cabin chiromo. So UK Prime Minister say living say what UK adoma yemso enka nchom so mo tie adom omo pamo ya yempamo omo bi de na esie bibiansi I'm sure Ibrahim Traore onye bi on pamo France for de na esie on pamo Ouattara Côte d'Ivoire on pamo France for de na esie bibiansi ye Mali for on pamo France for de na esie bibiansi ye eti Ghana pamo UK na ye dey nipa na transe awia usika de wakonko asuma enya gold awu gold unya bi osori o mu kasa na mu yam hyehye mu mutimi ntia o mu bi because we are beggars Besheni Namibia president waye Obano wadi 72 years. Shed Obani by Nancy Awaye. Or say Namibia terminates visa-free entry for 30 plus countries, including USA. The newly sworn-in president Nitombo Nandi Indatwa is moving forward with plans to revoke visa-free access for numerous first world class countries. Ono so by was me Namibia. Samo ye ba mu kroma na mu din semhuna mo so mo ba mu ye twam mo ba mo so me apply visa. UK for ne ba ye mo apply visa ni bi. Ye mo mu din line go US hobby. Me a president as an me wo ye me nkrofo sa wo so be na mawia ni mu bi. Me busa questions. Mo ma ye 3 months, wo so be ma 2 months. Eno na hwe sa nyoma no na me ene China ni USA. Kohwe ntokwa ekoso between USA and China. Go and look at what is happening. Donald Trump buy ya o sha say ohunehuna nkrofo. And o sha say na China for ACC USA for China and now they tax to so be 35. Na China for the cut 35. Not na USA for at the cut 100 something. Na China for the cut hobby. Or the cut 135. Na China for so the cut 135. And then Donald Trump will say, oh, yeah, they are about 30. China for say fine, we don't have a problem. Because China first stadium will say, yes, you're superpower. After we don't need you to survive. Into what I say Ghana, Yasas, Yentiminya, Yentiminya Mo, Yentiminya, Diankwana UK for the my Yentiminto. With all the money that is draining. Look at Namibia, Bra Facebook never share, Shema Namibia. Namibian president is saying, say, UK, you are why USA. So, Mami Kroma, service a free now first now for because you're Brunino, Metem, Oba apply. Yera John Mahama, this is your legacy year. O legacy near dear Mauno as John Mahama. Omo Kabia Kikabitromo, BBNC, Yawo Satumino. So, Omo Kafokin, also Kafokin. Omo Mafia, also Mafia Nibi. Masa matrasi ama brofo na sisi ya sipse ntimi nkasa broni oya hwan onyo bia ye ne omusia atwom na me supervisor ye broni me ne twede bia me supervisor o supervisor me o ye broni o kan bibia me se da bi we wrong ne nyina ya twene afiage atum ye mpene momo no bia ba betrase na ohunehuna unhu abrofo kalape na mo hopo just because of $1 million ne $20 million Donald Trump say USA di atwam ne ye hopo USA the term or my saya or my 125 million why yemfa nko wo panie na sika krom ha empanyufoi amanyofoi yete sama wiavia left and right yentimi nya even $200 million e kran fanya de eye na no you headquarters a mo yeye Bank of Ghana headquarters nko na ye sen ana na mama yanima gu asesa ase de bia ye de pa acho. Let's deal with them. Omunyobia. Into UK Prime Minister says Starmer, we still have Kwame Nkrumah spirit in us. I'm telling you this morning, we are not afraid of UK. If you think that it is a privilege to stay in your country, we are telling you that we have more citizens from UK staying in Ghana. And it is because of the mutual respect that we have for you. That's the reason why we keep quiet. But enough of those diplomacy. If you want to win a certain soft power, this is not the way to go. And let me tell you, Africa is rising. We are getting new leadership. We are getting people who are learned, who are empowered, who will not be intimidated by those frivolous intimidation. We have Africans who are ready to tell you in your face that if you feel that we are beggars, you are also beggars. There'll be a time when African leaders will rise because we are choosing good leaders who will say enough of the exploitation. We know what is happening in Congo. We know what is happening in Somalia. All because of some of those greedy agendas of you. Enough. And don't threaten Africans. Because if you threaten us, we will come after you.
Bravo. Nana Jantwa. Why are they Nyamishraw? Se wo sinkete Nyamishraw. Se wo nya saa komano. Na wonso waka wadwene e de akire. You see, abrofo ye sha se miti o musquelia enkombe hu sesebi abibifo ye njimiye. But because of say binom ene omokotena se na onu mu adidi. dining, they I mean they took tea together, they take tea together. Nti no, oka kra na obi esi ne ti ase. Se nka yenya sa kokoduro no amiti omo squarely na ya ka no kora e de achiro mo. Say we without Africans, you know, abrofo, they are nothing, because gold reserve ewa Africa nyina no ebetimi ahwe the western part. Even Ghana gold kra ebetimi ahwe more than half of western, I mean, countries, you know, developed countries in Ibi. But yeah, he leaders and adwumbɔ wo mutim. Ye mpanyfo and a sebi de bia omudi kurikuri mansa kode na omudi gold akwaji na omo abetena se na ye ho kyereye. Senka yenya leaders papa bi te se Ibrahim Traore, any, in fact Namibia president ya mami na Nana e kana wasemi, and some bold leaders our more taking decision for us, and Africa will be a place to what, to stay and what, I mean, be prosperous. And kai de bia yen ha ye ho entu kwan enkoma abrofo we yen kafo emfa nkyere. Omuma isika wie no mo se di echi aba Africa be kire how to use it. NPP for kwaji IMF sika obai be ka kire mo se munye ni se na ningwase de. African leaders ye gu ye huni mase mo Africans. That is why ya abrofo etimi kekanse hunu e de kire. Se nka sabia bu sabia nyado yenso ye kekan ho a na ye act as, I mean, rational people a nka abrofo yi omo nkansem funu bi amfa nkyere. After so omodi afom ye nananom slavery, ye nananom slavery, omodi akonkwaso mu agye japade ye gold, a diamond, eniyama nyina de akọ UK ho no. The only thing stammer ebetumi aka ne say it is privilege for me to live there, not the right. You see, sometimes yeah, I understand the pains of Nana Dwantua. How an inisia bra okasa. Asembeba debi. Na yemfi sanse ni mu na na yenko bura Ghana ye dollar ho nsensemi. Ohwe Ghana ye dollar ho nsensemi ya. Say die kamia ka say MPP for jagu mu chim papa. The MPP for mu hu de omu kan omu soro won say Russian Ukraine war and ama dollar na koso. Na Akufo-Addo free free kra okaye. Na ebisa say all of a sudden mama betnas Russia for Ukraine mo jan to kwanana. Asensebe. Ene the dollar need that 12. And I'm telling you 12 cities and some pesos be. And I'm saying that within by the close of this week, you know, now to 11, getting to 10. Because a modern boy yura ato any yes some medium phenom good board to yura governor Esiama Andrew Esiama, right? Ni di no governor no Bank of Ghana no. I mean the governor Bank of Ghana ne governor no. Any enyema mototo a say nkofo no ye adwuma. Omo ye adwuma papa and amasa dollar da bidu sabe. Yenkoti the real course of it. Metro TV bra Moro any ne pandits and asa oni ne yi abedwa fortuna se no mo dwadwem. Omo ka na potoka se mo. Nti yenko ne nti nse ni bi ko bebe trust.
Very well. I want to say the dollar is weakening. That was before, but the last few days, as I said, the dollar is beginning to resurge. And so when they're giving their different reasons why things are the way they are. Come on. Are you also into trading?
I do. No.
You trade?
No,
or you don't
really,
trade?
Not really.
Okay. So you are a consumer like all of us?
I was actually into business, but at the point...
Not into trading necessarily?
Not necessarily.
All right. So what's your take on this?
Let me sound a bit political, though my good friends decided to sound more like
a businessman
this morning.
Yes.
First of all, do we have to gloat over where the currency is now? As a government or as a citizen of Ghana, I would advise the government not to gloat over it. I mean, question is, have we been there before? And the answer is yes. With the immediate past government, that is our government. Well, we've achieved 13, we've achieved 12, we've achieved 14. We went all the way to 17. It came back to 15. You see, that space is very vulnerable. And you know what makes it a bit vulnerable? We've left it to the vagaries of the operators of arbitrage.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Right.
There are key operators of arbitrage. It's a syndicate. It's a chain. It's a strong, cabal. He didn't want to use the word. That's what is happening. And that is why we can never get it right. No government can get the forex industry right. So long as these people who are the strong people in that area, you see, what they do is, like I told you, it's just arbitrage. If you understand the finance market, they take advantage of the benefit that exists. If this money is moving from this place, by the time it gets to Wanda Madilo's place, I would have made, in between some 2 cedis or some 3 cedis.
Some gains.
And imagine if the person is doing volumes. It's not easy.
That's huge.
That's huge. You see, I went to South Africa some time ago, and from my hotel, Michelangelo, I said, I didn't have rand. I didn't have any, so I had some few dollars in my hands. Let me go get change. So I asked the receptionist, and she directed me. There's a bank just close to the hotel. He said, here I cannot, I have no forex bureau unless I go to the bank. I went to the bank. I didn't take my passport. Then asked, I wanted to get some rand to get into this, the mall or something. The bank asked me, first question was, where's my passport? I have to go and bring I brought my passport. They said they would have to go through give me a temporary account before I can now change money. It's a policy, deliberate policy. Ask yourself, come to Ghana. When you exit Kotoka, Abochi is standing there with the dollars. Okay? Abochi is actually not the owner of those dollars or those pounds. The main owner is sitting somewhere, cooling off, enjoying with, sipping some orange juice or something, and has sent guys around. And now, what he does is to pick a phone and call a bank that he has a relationship with. So that when central bank releases or injects in, hard currencies to ease, the pressures on the city, that money doesn't even go into circulation. Businessmen don't get it. With the aim of, central bank gives you this money. With the aim of businessmen having access to the bank, say, I want to pay for my importation I want to do from China, then they'll be able to do it for them, or I want to do it from US or something. Their businessmen go to the bank. They don't even get the currency. The man sipping that orange juice, sitting in East Legon or Cantonments or one of the big places, is the one controlling the bank in terms of that. So I'm saying that not until we are able to fight this group of people who see arbitrage as the best way to make money, look, we will always suffer. I'm not surprised, and I was not surprised yesterday when S&P gave us a rating and cautioned us that, look, don't be happy. By June, you may think your currency is strong now, but by June, you may suffer it again. Why? So question now arises. What have we done as a people? Look, forget about we trying to do politics. NMPP time, the dollar was this. MDC time, this thing, we should stop it. Trust me. We should stop it. If we really want to solve this problem and nip this in the bud once and for all, the NDC MPP must sit on the table to strengthen our city. In Saudi Arabia, you know what? The dollar has been 375 real, 365 real since 30 years or 40 years ago. It's still where it is. And sometimes they even call you, don't you want foreign currency? Don't you want to change? They invite you to come for it. You see, because they have stringent and strong policies against the forex market. All these things I'm talking about has to do with one thing. We should be deliberate about our policy. Atuforcing can do all the English, do whatever. The governor of Bank of Ghana can do all the English, do whatever. So long as the syndicate, this cabal, so long as this, if you like, people who are benefiting from it exist.
You're talking about the black market economy.
They use them. The black market. And you know what we can do? I'll have to profess a solution here, my suggestion. Wonder is a businessman. What stops us from knowing that those who import toiletries into the country, they are, say, the bigger companies are 4 or 5 companies. We know them. Bank of Ghana takes care of them. What stops us is those who import, say, foodstuffs, maybe rice. We have about 10 or 5 companies. We take a data of them. Then we say, okay, those bringing in food, which is already the norm anyway, Agri Ministry gives you license. After your license, tell us from first quarter, when you are placing your order, this, how much will it cost us? This, that money is going to be paid by Bank of Ghana through this bank for you. Okay? So you don't have to go to the market to look for dollar to go and buy your things and come. No, we don't know. So can't we have this data? We do that across board in the import industry. Then we know that electrical wires, whoever brings it, we have the big players. They are just people. They are the wholesalers. We have a group of them. So we know, just as we do to the oil industry, where we say that we spend about $400 million a month or whatever to the BDCs, we should be able to say the first quarter on food stuffs, we're able to spend this, and through Bank of Ghana, these people were given. So we will control it in a way. Now, those people who hitherto would have gone to the market or to any bank manager calling for dollar will not do that again. Because they will not even get, there's no space for you. Now, it will reduce the efficacy of the black market.
Yeah, but not necessarily. And you know why? Not necessarily. Because you see, today, dollar is being sold at a certain rate.
Yes.
I don't know what the interforex, the interbank, yes. And then the interforex, because the forex will
about 15. It's about 15 outside.
It's about 15 at the forex.
Yeah, it's about yesterday. Check.
Really?
Outside black market, somebody will tell you 15 or 14.
I'm not even talking about black market.
No, that's what happened.
I'm just saying that if I go to a forex bureau today, how much am I likely to get a dollar?
You are likely to get around 14 something.
Good. But you see, if I go to a forex and I can buy it at $14 or 14 point something cedis per dollar, Abochi can give me the same dollar at a less price. You know that.
That's the point. That's why I'm saying
Good.
that.
So the point is, where does Abochi get the dollar from?
I just told you where Abochi gets it.
No problem. I get it. When I land, you understand me. The question is, where does Abochi get his rates from? That makes it enticing and attractive to the business or the market players to go and buy the dollar from there.
Very good.
Now, when they go and buy the dollar from there, they are happier because they make more profit margins.
Yes.
Do you get the point I'm making? I'm saying that for as long as our buyers and sellers are going around looking for cheaper rates, it will be difficult to fight Abochi because Abochi have realized that there's a certain gap. And the gap is that when the forex bureaus, to all intents and purposes, get their dollars from the central bank, they will add their margins and so on because they have to make profit. It's not a charity organization.
Of course, yeah.
But Abochi realizes that in between what they get from the central bank to the forex bureau, the gap there, if it's 2 cities, if it's 3 cities or 4 cities or whatever it is, I'm not running a shop. I don't have anybody I'm paying. I'm not paying electricity. I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying all of these things.
Yeah.
So that gap, which is 3 or 4 cities, I want to give it at 1.5 or 2.
That's the point I'm making. I'm saying that.
And so their rates will always be cheaper.
I'm saying that.
How do we get rid of them?
First of all, the dollar moves from central bank. I'm talking about Ghana first.
Yes, Ghana
there are 2 issues anyway here.
Yes.
Sometimes they even check, look, these people doing the work, they will go to Burkina Faso and check if there's some dollar there. Exchange rate, how is it like? Compare it to Ghana. What is it? What can I get? They'll be able to work on it. But that aside, within us, Bank of Ghana brings in the money to the banks. From the banks, it's supposed to go to some forex. Bank of Ghana give forex bureaus as well.
Okay.
From the banks to businessmen and whatever, all these things happen.
Okay.
The point.
So great. So daily exchange rates. Okay, so this is still interbank rates.
This is forex.
It's still interbank.
I was going to give you.
I need the forex. Oh, you have the forex bureau?
No, I mean, I was going to give you this.
The same. Yeah, so it's still interbank. I was actually looking for forex, the forex rates, not the interbank rates.
It's about
But
14.
interbank rates are very low, eh?
They're low.
It's 12.88
for today.
That's what I was telling you.
Buying.
That's what I
And
wanted.
selling is 12.89.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
You see?
Pounds is 17.0218 and selling at 17.04.
So understand. See, Audu. I'm trying to say that.
The thing is heading towards 10.
It's coming to 9.
Look, and whether it's heading to 9 or 10, that's why I started by saying that we have been there before. the MPP achieved a single digit on it. Why? Why did Dr. Bawumia make a comment that we have arrested the city and then given it?
No, at that time we were already in Sigidi before you took over.
No. I'm saying, look, you see, when you come
during
in,
that time,
what?
during that time,
That was 2017.
were the other foreign currencies
That was
also being
2017.
impacted positively?
Come again.
At that time, was the pound sterling, the euro, also making gains during the same time we're talking about? Because I remember at that time was just the dollar.
The city was actually performing so well.
No, when you say
Against
performing
only the
so
dollar
well,
at the time.
I think I'm not allowed to make.
Oh, no, okay,
let me make the
please
point.
allow me. No,
You
please
understand
refer to
me?
him.
You see,
Please
the
allow
point I want us to make is that,
Yes.
first of all, when if government comes in, you enjoy a certain level of goodwill. Don't forget about that.
Yes.
Your first 3 months is not your budget and your fiscal policy. You should know about that. Now, that much budget that you have brought, and with your fiscal policies that you have announced, after Parliament passing it, you're now going to do implementations. Question is, this government, your implementation had just started, which is about a month, a week old, or a month, 2 weeks old now. So, I mean, that's basically what you're doing. So, if you look at what you are doing, the results you are getting now has to do with what you inherited in a way. That's actually the truth. And then coupled with the goodwill that you get. Look, Guta is quick to tell you that, oh, it's coming down, so we want to actually ensure that prices of goods and services will reduce. It's a sign of goodwill you are enjoying. And you know what happens within that environment? When there's some seeming investor confidence injected or seen, okay, it helps stabilizes your currency. Okay, it's a whole lot of stuff. Then I'm saying that the goodwill you've enjoyed, the policy you are now going to put together, what you have inherited, all culminates into where we are now. And the person who is rating you here at Saturday at S&P says that, look, we got it from the injection of the dollar that you accrued from through your gold, about 4.6 billion to shore up your reserves. We also got that the expenditures you did maybe during the election, you were able to manage certain things. We also got that your debt restructuring that you did indeed helped you. You didn't do all these things. So for all this to help you now, getting your currency stabilizing and coming up, you are now going to take it from there. Point I want to make is that don't gloat over it now. Don't be too happy. Don't be quick to go to the market to say government of the day has brought down the dollar. If government of the day has brought down the dollar, government of the day must stop doing so. Don't blame Doomso on the ex-Wal government. Yesterday, some of us slept in darkness.
Come on, let me ask you this.
And you are not blaming, as you said, we should blame MPP.
No problem.
But with this one, we should be able to say what the government of the day is the one doing it.
If the dollar today,
yes,
was selling at 60 between 16, 17 or even $18, who would you have blamed?
Well, you see, if you are telling me that what you inherited is what might have caused it, of course, obviously, if the dollar wasn't doing well, you will be quick to tell me today that it's because of what I inherited and the shocks that comes with it. That is why I'm suffering.
The reason why I asked you this question is because consistently, every politician wants to take credit for the good and run away from the bad. And I'm sure same will go to the NDC.
Yeah.
I'm saying that today, it doesn't matter what explanation you give. You can go on and rant and rave and dice it, slice it, do whatever it is. But I think the NDC has every right to take credit.
So you see why I was...
Today, if the dollar is not doing well, everybody will be on the neck of the NDC.
How do you see why I started off by saying that... Oh, just...
No, I want him to finish and then I can bring you.
You see why I started off by saying that, look, there are factors that cause the depreciation of the city.
I agree with you.
Which factors are very human, that I believe we can do a lot about it. We are not MPP, NDC concerned about those factors.
Okay.
What we are concerned about, what you just said.
Okay.
Claiming credit.
Okay.
When it's good. And running away from it when it's bad.
When it is bad.
You understand what that's what we are doing.
Yeah.
I'm saying that it's about time we thought of a policy. Look, Amin Anta is sitting there. A great mind. He has been a finance minister.
Yeah.
Okay? Deputy finance ministers, Stephen Sika and co. Whatever. People who are, of course, not just them.
It's not Stephen Sika. Why are you doing that to him? It's Stephen Amua.
Stephen Amua.
A.K.A. Stika.
Call him Stika. You see, go to Bank of Ghana.
Yes.
We have people who are indeed experts when it comes to how to manage someone.
Yes.
And not just about being expert. Let's be practical, pragmatic about it.
Okay.
How can we sit on the table
So
and
I've just had that of story. Sorry
Yes,
for this.
okay.
I've just had that of Stanbic Bank. Stanbic Bank.
Yeah.
Now, Stanbic Bank is selling the dollar at 13.5 cedis. And they are buying dollar at 12.45. So it's not too different. That's just a marginal difference.
Don't be surprised. Go there now. These are figures. Go there now and they'll tell you no dollar.
You mean I don't get it at 12?
I am saying go there. You will not get at that point. Look, they should be displayed. Go and they'll tell you they don't even have dollars in stock. You go there now. I challenge you.
Oh, but there is...
That's the point I made. No. You can have... You see, these are rates... They are complying to Bank of Ghana's directives.
Okay.
Don't forget about that.
Yes.
Central Bank is actually watching. And Central Bank says that, look, this is where we have gotten to. These are the policy rates for you. Now, it gives to them. But go to the banks now, and I'm challenging you. That's why I'm making the point
banks
that...
don't have dollars?
Look, you'll be surprised that someone is sitting somewhere sipping his orange juice and has all the dollars.
You know...
And then the bank that is supposed to have given you 12 point something will tell you, I don't even have dollar in stock.
No, I won't be surprised.
You don't know that.
I won't be surprised.
That's where the problem is.
They'll give to Amochi.
They don't have it.
No, they'll give to Amochi. It's not they don't have it. They'll give
You go and see. So you will see these things sitting on your books, but you get there, and in reality, they don't even have a dollar. So I'm saying that the arbitrage in the system is what actually is causing the whole thing. It's not about NDC,
No,
MPP. It's not about coming to say, well, figures NDC did well.
But
No.
have you seen Data Bank's analysis, the big Data Bank research on analysis on why the city is doing well? Now, they're saying that they're saying that it's the central bank's support and improved sovereign credit ratings. And they're also talking about the gold reserve.
I mentioned that, about 4.6 billion.
You know, because you see...
So how much gold did they add?
Yes, because you see, this time around, it's not just the dollar. And so when I hear people say that, well, the dollar is beginning to gain momentum and so on, I'm saying, great. But if it were just about the dollar, then we can say that...
Other currencies also...
Exactly, but the other currencies are also...
No, but how it operates is that...
also not fairly favorable
inwardly
against the
or
cedi.
domestically, when your currency is gaining weight,
Yes.
is appreciated,
Yes.
it goes against all currencies within.
Right.
Because actually it's to pretense. So, of course, it's not just the dollar. Like when you go to UK now, or you go to Europe, the euro is a little bit higher than the dollar again.
Yes.
Strongly. It has gone a bit higher.
Yes.
So, you see, some have also argued that the happenings in the international trade environment,
Yes.
where these tariffs matter from the US and other things, it also has come to damage the dollar in a way.
Yes.
Because China has taken a strong stance.
Interestingly,
Yeah.
the dollar has regained its strength by 3%. Are you aware? And whereas the cedi has regained its strength by 5%.
By 5%.
And I'm saying, I'm talking about this resurgence I'm talking about. It just happened just a few days ago because Trump is on the tour, is on an international tour, and he's had some discussions with the Chinese community, and they have agreed on something. Where now the tariffs have dropped drastically.
That is even.
And so all of a sudden the dollar is beginning.
Gold should not be too happy now.
We have not.
No, but
with the figures.
But you know why? You know why? When you speak to currency analysts and all, and some of the renowned economists in this town, they'll tell you that actually, in our case, those external factors have not really impacted that much on our currency.
Who says so?
Because of our own internal
import-based economy, it does not impact it.
No, I'm talking about our own internal arrangement.
No.
You've just mentioned them. One, goodwill.
And
you said it.
Yes.
Two, the gold reserve plays a crucial role.
I know.
Because you see, look, what is this whole thing about? How do you call it? The strength of the cedi or the dollar. It's about the marginal forces of demand and supply. So where anytime there's more supply in the system, the dollar weakens. Because then there's abundance of dollar in the system, and so the dollar sort of loses a bit of its strength.
Basically.
So clearly what it means is that there's something that is happening which is right at the supply side of things.
Yes.
Right? And also at the demand side of things, something's happening
And
where
you think that
demand for dollar is going down.
And you think that happened within a month? No.
Of course, no. I will not be. Look, so I won't be one of those who would give 100% credit to this government because the gold reserve policy was something that you started.
Absolutely.
And so yes, you
Except
you
for
have
you
every
to
right
now
to
come
take
and
credit
say that
for
you are buying entirely the gold. But we started and said, look, we identified the problem. We said,
Yes.
look, if we cannot have gold,
Yes.
that we can keep
It's shared
shoring
credit.
our
It's shared
reserve
credit.
to help us,
Yes.
fight this depreciation of the cedi.
cedi.
And then you come and say, no, it wasn't
Okay.
proper.
No.
Wonder. You disagree?
There's no. The MPP is just being haunted.
By what?
By what is
Oh,
happening.
well, we've been there. How can I be haunted by
good
figures I've gotten before?
Economic figures that are
Is it
being
good?
thrown out now.
Oh.
If the NPP had achieved half of that, the economy wouldn't have gotten to where we have gotten to. Now he talks about they having to achieve single digit when it comes to exchange rate. Exchange rate was in single digits when we handed over to you.
Right.
You took it to double digit and then claimed that you brought it to single digit again, which is not true. When you climbed after 9.9, you never got back to the single digit. So a few things account for what is happening with the CD. Yes, the NDC cannot take credit for everything because the business of exchange rate is also geopolitics. And so there are other dynamics that plays when it comes to exchange rate. You talk about supply and demand. Yes, that's true. You talk about the gold policy. That's true. But if the gold policy, which they implemented for 1 whole year before they left office, was that good, what would have been the position of the CD to the dollar at the time they were leaving office? If they had implemented it the way it should be, why didn't they have the needed impact? So indeed, the NPP can be ruffled by some of these figures, but the truth still remains that there is a better economic manager at post. Number one, when President John Mahama took office, even before we went to Parliament to present the budget statement, he had assured the international community, including those who had the haircuts, that your payments are ready, and that I am committed to paying you all that is due you, true or false. And that could only endear investor confidence, and it's one of the reasons why you see the CD beginning to behave the way it's behaving, because people are beginning to have renewed confidence in the CD, in the government of the day, and in the management structure. The finance minister comes out to say that, listen, henceforth, we're not going to award contract and you go to site without talking to us. Before you go to site, before you begin your job, get a commencement certificate, because the backlog of people to be paid, for instance, in the road sector alone, they left a debt of about 38 billion. In ECG alone, 68 billion. You know, and then you see Cocoa Board and all the others.
The credit was talking about was relative to the gold reserve policy.
No. I'm saying that I'm saying that all those debts gives nobody confidence to invest in the economy.
Right.
You hear Ghana gas plant, coming up on stream. You think that if the economy was that bad, anybody would be interested in some of this? You just heard which of them? Cosmos Energy trying to invest $2 billion. You think that if the economy was bad, they are not sure of how you're going to pay your debt. They want to invest in your economy that much. So indeed, there is investor confidence being boosted by the activities of the managers of the economy. The MPP must come to grips with that. We are not saying that we have done some magic over the period, but we are saying that the mere fact, which his, Akufo-Addo, former president, said that money doesn't like noise. Is that not it? And that if you're doing the job, it will show. When the fundamentals are strong, the exchange rate will vindicate you. Very simple.
The only thing you left out is that you didn't say it in French. L'argent
n'est pas beau. That's what he said.
No, please, he didn't say that.
What did he say?
No, what's your three? No.
Whatever it is,
is not French.
Whatever it is, nobody got it right over here. Yeah. So, indeed, my brother, I'm saying that the economy is in good hands.
Okay.
The level at which President John Mahama has taken this economy, if we took that in all the period that they have been in office, we wouldn't be where we are.
So is that so? Someone
for all the time they were in office,
someone has just sent me the French translation.
It came close to mine.
L'argent n'aime pas le bruit.
Oh, I said it.
No, you say a boui. That's what I said.
What?
You say a boui. You say l'argent a boui, and I said, no, I've never heard it before.
I didn't say a boui.
That's what I heard. Come on.
No, let me make
So let me correct you so that I don't go say it elsewhere. It's l'argent n'aime pas le bruit.
But that's what I said.
Yes, again, l'argent est boui. So please, yes.
So it is loud and clear. Say, MPP for Pio, Pio, they will be in a position for a decade. MPP for Pio, Pio, they will be in a position for a decade. Because of where you are John Mahama, any man, Professor Jane, Pokuna Najiman, any Ato Forsen, Samijan Finum, Attention Muye Nemoya. Ebeya say Ghana for better by TMDC. And no for baby first dollar nipa abere okurum o and adeɛ baako pɛ na aka any the price control no how to control Ghana yɛ price of goods and services sɛ adeɛ wɔ mo ntumi anya ɛbɛha yɛ papa how to control the price of goods and services mo ntumi anya ɛbɛha yɛ because nyame ni nokware die dollar rate ɛkɔ fam na sɛ nneɛma so still na ne bo ayɛ den a ɛno de na kyerɛ sɛ Kofi kɔ ɛnso na ogyina kwantia still na Ghanafoɔ ɛbɛhu sɛ nneɛma nkɔ yie nti NDC foɔ yɛwura John wo ne wo vice president monyere mo ho na monka nkyerɛ Ghanafoɔ nyinaa ne ntɔ ɔmo asom sɛ nneɛma no ɔmo pɛ ɔmo mpɛ o ɛnɛ wei na aba ɔmo ntete so na Ghanafoɔ ho hia ne sɛ nte saa a aban no ɔmbɛgu mo anim ase even when dollar has depreciated and cedi is appreciating no they will still find a way of criticizing you kofo bɛka sɛ nneɛma mu ayɛ den ampa so mfa nkyɛ bɛnɛ wokɔ na akɔtotɔ nneɛma anyɛ easy o ne bo adim because ofu nkyɛ bi te baabi bɛka kyerɛ sɛ dollar no the time ɔkɔfa nneɛma na ɛso ntie nti ɔtɔn ne nneɛma awie nti saa adwene wei da bibi ne tim a ɛbɛyɛ dɛn na UK Prime Minister ɛnka sɛ Africans they are privileged to stay in their country you see yaa na yɛpɛ na yɛ aborɔfo keka bi kyerɛ yɛn ɔmo kora ɔmo tim na mmerɛ nka sɛ ɔmo pɔn bibifo nyinaa ma ɔmo bɔ ɔmo kurom na ɔmo bɛyɛ ɔmo kuro yi sɛ ɔmo yɛ ha yie a na ɔmo kɔ hɔ no ɔmo ma African leader bi ɛnsi hɔ because of sɛ ɔmo nso ɔmo benefit gold nneɛma ɔmo bɛfa firi ha nti no they can't do that nkɛte saa nka aborɔfo ɔmo awo yɛ ti kɔ sɛdeɛ UK Prime Minister n'ani abere a wahyɛ ase a ɔkeka ne nsɛm ɛkɔ yi ɛti abusuafoɔ ɔmo yɛnyɛ yɛ kuro yie wate woyɛ dwadini a afei na nso a momu no duru so te wo nneɛma so na ehu sɛ ɔyɛ ne ɔmamba pa woyɛ kuani a sɛbi de wa nneɛma si kɔ no mempa adufudie bebree te nneɛma so na ehu sɛ amammuo no nso wɔ ho adwempa ɛkɔyɛ sɛ wo aduru sɛ wote wo deɛ so na wonte a aban so deɛ eduru no deɛ so obetumi ayɛ demonstration obetumi akasa atia no nti abusuafoɔ ɔmayi na yɛnsua bibi na yɛmfa mfiri mu hanom ɛyɛ #1 authentic platform once again Nana Dwantoa nyame of how brave, how bold, courageous you are wɔtumi akeka wɔ adwene kyerɛ Prime Minister no nti baabi obi am sɛ message na to no because yɛgu so a yɛhyɛ message ni saa nti obi nhyɛ na ɔka kyerɛ Prime Minister a wɔ UK sɛ onyame score ne nsɛm hunu ne nsɛm fo ɔkeka no ɔdwa so because Africa yɛnyɛ poor saa yɛa na ɛyɛ ho saa yɛa na sɛ bi ɛyɛ ho saa na biribi ayɛ nka Africa nyɛ ti bi adi Yakobon Shirao Makrao bye bye